There comes a moment, under prolonged suffering, when the desire for relief begins to outweigh the desire for understanding. Not because understanding has been achieved, but because the cost of continuing to seek it has grown too high. It is at this point that the illusion presents itself, not as a deception, but as refuge. In S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, the illusion appears as a complete and coherent state of experience. Within it, fear no longer intrudes. Pain no longer accumulates. Consciousness settles into equilibrium. From the inside, the experience feels resolved, as though the world has finally ceased making demands. The sense of resolution is precisely what makes the illusion persuasive. What the illusion offers is not a new reality, but a severed one. The external world continues unchanged, indifferent to the internal peace that has been achieved. The zone remains hostile. Time continues its work on the body. What has shifted is not the structure of existence, but the individual's access to it. Consciousness remains active, yet it no longer reaches outward. Experience becomes self-contained. The self-containment is the first sign of confinement. Freedom, in any existential sense, requires the possibility of refusal. It requires the capacity to say no, to act against circumstances, to test limits, to encounter resistance. Within the illusion, this capacity is absent. The experience does not ask for reaffirmation. It does not tolerate doubt. Its stability depends entirely on uninterrupted acceptance. The moment the individual questions the nature of what is being experienced, the illusion does not open, it tightens. A state that cannot be questioned, cannot be freely inhabited. To desire such a state is understandable. Within the zone, suffering does not arrive as an interruption to life. It is life. Pain offers no promise of resolution. Under these conditions, withdrawal feels rational. To choose peace over engagement does not indicate ignorance. It indicates exhaustion. What distinguishes the illusion from liberation is not its artificiality, but its closure. It does not allow the individual to act upon the world. In removing pain, it also removes consequence, threat, and response. The individual does not cease to exist in this matter. They cease to participate in the world. Reality, however hostile, does not impose this silence. It remains resistant. Choices still generate outcomes that cannot be controlled or reversed. Pain in this context is not meaningful in itself, but signals contact. It confirms that the individual is still exposed to a world that has not been closed around them. The illusion, by contrast, achieves peace by sealing that openness shut. It offers harmony by eliminating friction. It preserves consciousness by isolating it from anything that might disrupt it. What remains is a stable inner world that cannot be altered, left, or contested. This is not freedom from suffering. It is imprisonment without walls. Prison of the mind is not defined by restraint, but by the absence of alternatives. A state that cannot be exited is not chosen continuously. It is endured passively. And the experience is insulated from consequence. It no longer qualifies as engagement with reality. It becomes containment. The illusion does not destroy the individual. It renders them inert. By removing pain, it also removes agency. By resolving experience, it forecloses existence. What remains is a peace that cannot be refused and happiness that cannot be questioned. The zone does not enforce this outcome. It merely offers it. And in doing so, it reveals a final truth. A mind that can no longer reach the world is not at rest. It is forever imprisoned.
We're all to stand upon the sea. Through death, through darkness thus. I choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us.